welcome back to Bros in a Landfill. It's been a hot second. I feel like I say that every time I record an episode now because of how this what Undertale you guys are doing.
The seconds never cool off, man.
No, they don't. We're here with this guy named Dingo now, which is a name.
Dingo.
Yeah. So, full transparency, I completely forgot how to play this game. But like, what else is new?
I forgot about everything in the who the fuck is Dingo?
Yeah.
I assume we must have rescued him at some point. I guess maybe we recently did a Dandori battle.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
Something about like Dandori battles, like I start losing my mind and start just spouting nonsense.
Yeah, I mean that's just the Dandori way.
Well, it's chaotic, and also like you're so focused on like Dandorian correctly that I have to like kind of carry the dialogue for a bit, and I go mad.
Yeah.
That guy looks like he's not so good. Like
No.
he needs medical attention.
There's been a few guys like that. I'm sure Brits can save the day. I still can't believe we called him that.
I had that thought, and I was like, I say this every time we play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy would look like he's just relaxed and sleeping and just chilling, but like he's undulating a little bit too rapidly. That like
Yeah.
he seems like he's on the verge of death, and now he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh no.
God.
Training time, I see.
Okay, we got some new lab stuff.
I remember Russ. He's a real character.
Yep. Ooh, what is this?
Idle counter.
Ooh. Okay, I don't really care about that. I mean, that'll probably be helpful at some point, but
It's fun how like some of these things are like an idle counter seems like a basic quality of life feature, but if you put it behind a skill tree, it's like, oh fuck yeah.
I feel like if I buy one of these, like it's gonna be like a one-time use.
Hmm.
I mean, this is probably helpful.
I reckon
So
that
that's
for the next Nintendo console, like, we should get rid of Mii's, like we should keep Mii's, but Mii's should look like Pikmin characters.
Yes, I agree.
Like just take the customization from the beginning of this game and make that like how everyone represents themselves. These guys should be playing tennis and golf.
Maybe it'd be better to learn.
I will say,
all
I
just,
actually really I like the Mii's a lot. I like how
Yeah,
they're
no,
a bit weird and janky and goofy.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. Like that's like it's Nintendo charm. Like we haven't like Nintendo peaked with Mii's.
They have that kind of offbeat, kind of Japanese weirdness. It makes me think of like WarioWare or something, the Mii's. I think people who don't like them are stupid. And they hate fun.
That's true.
No devil's advocate, just like no, they're dumb.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely the one I want to go with.
I get
Just
the
makes
feeling
them
I could get
better.
you to agree with anything I say, like while you're like multitasking, deciding what to level
Yes.
up in.
That's pretty much how I operate.
So next time I need a huge favor, I'll wait until you're like trying to decide like if you want to unlock the pumpkin.
Yeah, that's it. What's this guy want to talk about?
Who's that?
It's Kingsley.
Of course.
Okay, nothing important. What's this guy?
I'm happy that we're building like a whole society, you know.
Yeah, this is like its own little thing. Ready to explore.
Would you like to play the video game?
So here's a question. I've got 44 at both of these. Which one should I? But there's still a new Pikmin type here to unlock.
Yeah, we should get all the tools. Then we can properly Metroidvania our way back to Sun Speckled Terrace.
True, dude. I love the way you think. Yeah. So before we started recording, I was telling Lunch about uh, a little trip Helen and I took to go see the Whose Line Is It? Like, well, the show is called Who's Live Is It Anyway, which is like a live troupe of some of the members of Whose Line Is It Anyway? And and then
Genius.
like I won't tell any more of that story. Which it was the show was fun. Like like we didn't have great seats, so we couldn't hear a lot of what was going on. But Lunch was like, I didn't realize there was other versions of Whose Line Is It Anyway? And it's like so yeah. I just want to be like, just wanted to talk with Lunch about like some history of Whose Line.
Right. I've only seen bits and bobs of the American one, and I thought that was the entire thing.
No, so fun fact: Whose Line actually started off as a radio show in England.
Oh, okay.
There was like, I think like one season of it. Very different vibe, very different vibe. There's actually an episode with Hugh Laurie on it.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Something.
I
mean, it was okay.
A young Hugh Laurie.
Yeah. It was something.
I'm kind of surprised that I didn't know that there was a UK version. So like, there's a UK TV show of it as well.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that was like.
That's like the original.
Like, yeah, the original box. Yeah, the original was UK.
Has it been like
Clive Anderson?
Has it been going like concurrently with the American version for a long time, or is
no?
It like?
So actually, it started off as just the UK version.
Okay.
The US version started after the UK version finished airing, and like the last season of it was all like in LA. Like the last season of the UK one was all in LA.
Oh, okay. Because I was curious if they were going at the same time or something. Because like, I'm a bit surprised. Oh, I guess I was a bit surprised that like, if there is a UK version, that like, I know about the American one, just because you'd think that like, because New Zealand is like kind of like extra Britain, that like we would have more UK stuff. Because you know, we worship the Queen or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
We got a Union Jack. We like to drink cups of tea. Though, I've been told the tea I drink, that we call English breakfast tea, the British person in my flat said that they call it builder's tea, because it's a tea you make for the builders.
That's interesting.
Well, in New Zealand we also have the call it Gumboot tea, and I don't understand why. In fact, I'm gonna Google that right now.
Okay.
Why is tea called Gumboot tea?
It sounds like some like off-brand gumshoe sort of thing.
Okay, so Google says Gumboot tea is the equivalent of the UK's builder's tea. But why is it called that? Sorry, I know that I'm creating silence in the show, but I have to get to the bottom.
I'm trying to focus on these like bird things, like the birds in these games like just give me anxiety.
The birds?
Yeah, like birds and Pikmin just give me anxiety.
They are frightening.
There's also a very interesting, like, different looking type of area compared to the previous dungeons.
Yeah, this one's like I don't know. It seems like quite open, like. Well, like it's not just like a cave; it's like some kind of structure.
So wait, am I supposed
what's
to?
going on here? It's not quite like Super Monkey Ball level of strange background, but I don't know. I feel like you would go here in like Zelda or something.
Yeah.
Maybe like Skyward Sword. Let's see. So I found a Reddit post about Gumboot tea. Someone said, "Does anyone like understand like where this term comes from?" And the top comment says, "I don't know the origin. It's just something my mom's always said." So yeah.
That's adorable.
And then there's another person saying, "I'm not sure. We're not huge tea drinkers anymore." Why the fuck did you reply?
That's depressing. Who would ever think it's a good idea to stop drinking tea?
I don't know, savages.
True.
Anyway, so like, I guess what I was saying is, New Zealand, we're just like England. So yeah, I would have thought that we'd have British Who's Line, but I guess that like ended long before my time.
Yeah, I want to say like British Whose Line ended in the 80s. I want to say.
Yeah, so by the time I was growing up, I probably wouldn't be on TV too much.
Yeah, but like all the regulars from the all the regulars from the US one started on the UK one.
Oh, like on the LA season?
Yeah, yeah. So like there was a few seasons where they had like stuff in LA, but the final season was all in LA. But yeah.
Is the vibe like? Have you seen much of the British TV show version?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen every episode of the British one.
Right.
I'd say like, it's a bit. I don't know the right. It's a bit rougher around the edges, but kind of like in a good way. So one of the big differences between the UK one and the US one is that in the US one they actually like they do a warm up show before the recording. So like they're all like, the US one ends up feeling. I don't know if the right word is more like
everyone's switched on, ready to go.
Yeah, everyone's ready to go. Also, like the US one uses more regulars, so like you would like pretty much every episode has like Colin, Ryan, and Wade.
Yeah.
Where in the UK one, like they had some people that were kind of regulars who showed up more often than others, but like there was a larger rotating cast of guests.
So it was a bit like, less about regulars, maybe a bit scrappier in a way that is like a bit endearing but less polished.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like fun.
In a lot of ways, like I prefer the UK show. Once you watch enough of the US show, you kind of get into its rhythm and you like kind of like fall in love with the guys that like are the regulars. But it definitely like kind of like misses like some of the scrappiness of especially because like the hosts of the two different ones are like so like drastically different in terms of the US one, Drew Carey, who's pretty much like the kid, like he's kind of like the kid that everybody bullies but like you don't want to, like it's kind of like endearing in a way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
yeah.
He's kind of like dorky but like kind of fun. He's like that annoying kid that like is almost like he's not annoying but he's almost annoying and you just can't help but love him.
Sure.
Where the UK one has Clive Anderson, who is a lot drier of a character. He actually was a lawyer before he was doing TV stuff.
Right.
But
I mean, drier seems like what I would expect from the UK version.
Yeah.
Like.
But like he's still like fun, but he ends up like, so I'd say like kind of like the difference between like the hosting styles is, I think sometimes like Drew is kind of a main character on the US one.
Sure.
Where on the UK one, Clive is more supporting and sometimes the butt of jokes.
Okay.
It also has like a different. So like the US one kind of gets that feel of like, oh, these are a group of friends just like being silly together, and like they have a lot of chemistry because they pretty much do every episode with each other. And then like Ryan, I think Ryan was on the Drew Carey show with Drew Carey. So like there's like just a big chemistry difference. So I guess like the UK one kind of ends up feeling more like a game show without like being a game show. Like
well, something I liked about when I went to an improv group years ago, like I used to go pretty regularly, and like the range of different types of personalities, or like people, like sometimes you'd have someone who doesn't normally show up or whatever, or someone who like has less chemistry with everybody, and like it's interesting seeing how like people have really, if you have a variety of people, they have really different impulses on like how to do it or like what would be funny, and it's like it's often really surprising. Well, I guess like you can get really good at doing improv with someone if you know them well and like their kind of leanings, but like it's less likely to be surprising, I guess.
Yeah, it's like with the US one, like a lot of the jokes end up kind of feeling like they end up writing themselves.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily like fully bad. Like there are quite a bit of moments where like you get types of humor that you could only get with people that have been that are so familiar with each other.
Yeah. They have like a sense
some-
for like where the other person wants to go or would go, or like what things they're good at, so like what positions to put them in and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the US one absolutely has like bigger, like I think bigger, funnier moments than the UK one, but like it never kind of gets that like charming awkwardness that
Well, that's a big
really
part
good.
of why improv is fun. And like one of the reasons, like, because I performed a few improv shows here and there, and like you would think like, oh, it's so scary, what if I fuck it up? But like that's part of why people like improv, I think. Like
Yeah.
when you get given a prompt that's too hard and then like they watch you like stumble and struggle for a second, like everyone laughs, you know?
Yeah,
Like-
and those are always like the best moments in the U.S. one. Like when they, it's like with the U.S. one, like there are sometimes where they just really like had to go hard with like what the fuck prompts.
Yeah.
Where like with the UK one, you could kind of have those moments without the big what the fuck prompts.
Well,
And
it's
a lot-
fun
I-
just like watching. There's an excitement to watching the performer squirm, I guess. Because like
Yeah,
there's
no.
a bit of a daring aspect of things. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, but I think the thing I missed, the thing that like I think just the one I think the main thing why I think I mainly prefer the UK one over the US one is that having just the 3 regulars kind of just makes it feel like it's the same show every
Yeah,
watch.
yeah. No, fair enough. Well, like that would make it good for like sort of like a comfort show maybe, but like it's like you always know basically what you're getting into. Excuse me. Ooh,
Huh.
cyan flower.
So this like lets you change your Pikmin's color.
That seems like violating.
So this just turn them into ice Pikmin.
That's
I'd like to
kinda
have one to
cool.
change them into blue Pikmin because I don't have enough blues. Okay.
So these aren't blue Pikmin, these are ice Pikmin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's completely
Okay.
different.
Okay, now I gotta figure out where the freaking continue thing is.
Yeah, where the hell are we? This is like a crazy level.
Oh, it is over there. Yeah. But like that being said, like I'm complaining a lot about the US one. I still love it. Like that's a complaining in comparison. I'm glad the US one is the way it is because there's no other show that's like it. Like
Yeah, well, it's kind of neat, like just the idea of having 2 different versions of the same show made by like somewhat different cultures or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess sometimes it's a culture difference and sometimes it's just that team,
Yeah.
but like it's quite interesting to compare and contrast.
Well, it's also so interesting. Is like I think especially the U.S. one, like you can see so much like influence in like modern like improv YouTube channels or whatnot. Like
Yeah.
it does have that vibe of like, oh, there's like these YouTubers you tune in to watch every so often, who like,
Yeah, well, when
do
you were
the-
talking about like these guys know each other really well and they're ice riffing in the same way, it's like that makes me think of like Game Grumps or something, or
exactly.
or
Well, and,
Bros
like,
in a landfill maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and a lot of it like makes modern Game Grumps as good as it is that they've taken like improv classes, like they've like I'd say like the Game Grumps like these past few years is like they're kind of like at the top of their game in a lot of ways.
I've been really enjoying them lately too.
So, but yeah,
I would love
I
it if there
guess-
was a UK version of Game Grumps to compare with.
true.
Wouldn't that be
Unfortunately,
interesting?
we're stuck with New Zealand Game Grumps right now.
Yeah, that's the best we got. I've never watched the I've never probably watched the UK version of The Office. But it's interesting that like I've kind of heard that like it's a bit like more cynical in tone than the US Office, which really interests me because I think the American Office is really like cynical and awkward and stuff. Like, though it did start softening up the longer it went on, which is why I kind of stopped watching it. But like, I don't know. It's hard to imagine a more cynical version of The Office. The sweet moments are kind of few and far between.
I
Do you know about the In-Betweeners?
No.
Maybe Helen knows about it. It's like a British like raunchy teen comedy show. I wonder if all of it would still like hold up into today's society, but like it's just an interesting example where like I think they tried to make an American version. I don't know if they just got a season in or whatever, but like it just like got so rejected because like there was something really British about that show that like you can't recreate with Americans. It just doesn't work. I just thought that was interesting. Because The Office, I see like it seems like they did an okay job of like getting a similar vibe across, but like the In-Betweeners, like there's just no way.
I just bodied that guy.
He didn't stand a fucking chance.